Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Swinney back with Thomas and Friends Wonders of Sodor. Now, what did James do this time?
First class engine. Early one morning, Percy arrived back at Tidmouth Sheds, very tired. "Morning, Percy," said Thomas. "You do look tired." "Yes, I am," said Percy sleepily. "I was up all night delivering the mail. It seems like there are more letters and parcels than ever." "Heh," scoffed James. "You're only a little engine. No wonder you struggle to manage those heavy vans. Perhaps Sir Topham Hatt should give the job to another engine, or even Harold.
Whoa,
I'm sure
James, that is
a
step too far.
"I can manage fine on my own, thank you," said Percy firmly.
Mentioning Harold to Percy is a very good way to
"Perhaps," said a voice, "you could do with a
arouse
little
desire.
help, Percy." It was Sir Topham Hatt, who had just arrived and had heard everything.
Everything?
"James, you think another engine should help take the mail. I think that's a very good idea, and I'm sure Percy wouldn't mind the lighter workload for a while." Percy was pleased, and James looked smug. That was until Sir Topham Hatt continued. "I'm assigning both you and Percy to tonight's mail run. You can help him collect all the letters and parcels that need to go to the mainland." James was
Couldn't see me,
horrified.
but I was pointing at James when I was laughing.
"But sir," he protested, "I'm supposed to be taking the express in the morning, and I can't do that if I've been busy all night pulling the mail train." "I'm sure Emily wouldn't mind taking the express in your place, James," replied Sir Topham Hatt. "Now the decision is final, so I'll hear no more about it." And Sir Topham Hatt turned and walked away. Later that night, James and Percy had collected their mail vans and were waiting for them to be loaded at Knapford Station. Percy was trying to explain to James what he had to do, but James was taking no notice. "James, you must remember to collect all the bags of mail at each station," explained Percy. "Sometimes the mail will arrive by road, so you have to be patient and wait for the van to arrive and be loaded into your train before you leave."
And if anyone asked for a password, it's swordfish.
But James was too busy thinking about getting back to his
swordfish.
shed and waking up to pull the morning express. Just then, the guard's whistle blew, and the two engines set off. "Good luck, James," said Percy. "I'll manage fine, thank you," James grumbled. Silly Percy, thinking I can't manage a few bags of mail. It can't be that difficult.
Come on. Move, James. we love you. These trains are in dire need of more lights. Entirely possible there's no textures in these tunnels, just darkness. Whistle while you work. Cows. Is that supposed to be the moon? It's a very weird moon, if that's what it is. I don't recall the moon glowing.
Right, let's get all this mail loaded into the vans. Then we can be on our way.
Now, how did James get in trouble in this one?
That's all the mail from this station. Let's get going. The sooner we finish collecting all this mail, the sooner I can get back to my shed.
Best guess I can think of. He doesn't wait for the mail van. Which is profoundly rude, because not only is he shirking his duties as a mail train, he's also not taking seriously that other British stop-motion character, Postman Pat. Maybe. I don't think his route is on Sodor. I'm fairly certain of that much. Incoming!
It looks like the station master is waiting for us.
Huh?
Hello, James, said the station master. Some of the mail arriving by road has been delayed, so you'll need to wait for it to arrive. In the meantime, here is the rest of the mail for you. Bother, muttered James. This is sure to make me late now.
James, you can be such a big baby.
Come on, driver. We can't afford to be late.
You're not going to take "you're not the boss" of me for an answer. Out of your game.
Wait, James, wait, called the station master. But James didn't stop. He was determined not to be late and wanted to prove he was better than Percy.
Yeah, that was my first guess. That he would pull something like this. Scat's good as I still can't scat. Darn it. Apparently not practicing at something doesn't make you better at it. Who would have thought? One of these days, I should really just consider demolishing Gordon's Hill altogether. Meaning I don't have plenty of problems with it. Engines routinely get stuck going up it. And if that doesn't happen, we slip down. Have accidents on the way on down the other side of it. Now, where will Sir Topham Hatt be, and how irritated will he be with James?
As James arrived at Maron Station, the station master ran up to him looking rather upset.
Busted!
James, he said, I've had a phone call from the station master at Wellsworth, and he tells me that you didn't wait for the mail to arrive by road. James felt foolish.
You really thought there'd be no consequences?
No, continued the station master. We have arranged for the mail to be brought here. So please can you wait for it to arrive? It's vital that this important mail reaches its destination on time.
Suffice it to say, it's something...
This time,
James
listened carefully,
on Amazon.
And suddenly an idea came to him. If I deliver all the important mail, he thought, then I'm sure that Sir Topham Hatt will say I'm really useful. Maybe even more useful than Percy.
Oh, you are so vain.
Don't worry, sir, said James to the station master.
I bet you think this whole franchise is about you,
I promise I'll wait for the mail
you?
to arrive and make sure it gets to the mainland in time. That's a good engine, smiled the station master. The mail won't be long now, so you'll soon be on your way again. So James waited for the mail to arrive.
Hello, little red cube.
He didn't have to wait long. He heard a car horn coming from nearby, and then watched as a red post van pulled into the station car park. Soon the important mail was loaded, and James puffed quickly away. He was determined to make up for lost time, but was even more determined to prove that he could be as patient as Percy.
When I sketch, my brain goes to strange places. Okay, maybe not strange places, but they're scat adjacent, methinks. I think this camera works on some kind of hair trigger. How many aqueducts does this island have? Over there. Over there. The mail is over there. Over there. Why is the mail over there? Well, that's an awkward looking crossing. It's 2 sets of gates. That's... Over there, over there, over there. Why are they over here? Classic series, James's theme music sounded like jazz. I happen to have liked that jazz. I don't know why I liked that jazz, I just know that I liked it. Yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-ee, yippee-yi-oh, yippee-yi-ya. Long Warble speared the Nargan. I think my personal favorite episode of the series, benefit of hindsight, is Trust Thomas. That is the one where he gets an accident with that little ferry boat by the lake. You know the one, right? I think we saw it in a video or two ago. Either way, it was the first episode of the show played on what was for the longest time the only Thomas VHS we ever had in the house. I really like that one, if only because Thomas isn't jerking it. The episode, and they're all friends, and Thomas has a pet toad that we never see again after that. dark for that. No, whoa, 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 that was embarrassing. What is... Something very strange is going on here. My name is Tippy McPherson, and it's not. Tippy McPherson doesn't even sound like Swinney. If I want to talk in a funny voice, it's my prerogative. Talk like that, just finished. No, keeps it going. Mr. Something or the gay six grade like this and has an obnoxiously neat secretary who either takes him to typically locks him up in his office rather than leave legitimate help to him and the day-to-day operations of whatever non-discreet big job he has. Thinking he's headed to office. I have no idea if the shoe's for oboes, made by oboes, or from oboes. They sounded a lot more smoother on the television show. Locomotive. Toot, 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 toot. This is a very long mail run. Oh, jeez. Coming in a little too hot. Okay. That is far more understandable. Now, who is that up ahead? Percy, I might have known you'd get here sooner. So, what now? Polite of you to still be whistling, even though you're clearly out of fumes, boyo. That'd be rather polite of you. Mighty decent of you. Okay, you're here, but why isn't anything happening? Why did I come down here? I may have run into a glitch. Here I go again on my own. Ole biscuit barrel. fault.
Oh boy, I discovered a collectible completely by accident.
James, you and your fellow engines are in dire need of a radio. Going to have some tunes to listen to and shugging across the island, schlepping whatever freighter passenger train we get.
Just one more stop to make. Then we are finished for the night.
Wait a minute. Whistle is fun. And I inadvertently switched from Gordon's theme to the Legend of Zelda theme. Of course I would do that. Played a Legend of Zelda game. Even I can recognize the theme. Jumping bean, jumping bean. Where, oh, where is jumping bean? Where, oh, where is jumping bean? Jumping bean, jumping bean. Where, oh, where is jumping bean? Please tell me that by the time this video uploads, this will finally be sufficiently explained. Oh boy! Never mind. This was what threw me off earlier. I missed the station, and then I had to redo that whole route again. With successful stops, just to get the ending. At least what I hope is the ending. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd want to go back the way we came from Tidmouth to Vickerstown.
James arrived at Vickerstown Station and was feeling pleased with himself. He had collected all the mail and tried his best to make up for lost time. Percy was already there waiting for him, and so was Sir Topham Hatt. James was worried what he would say about him not being patient and waiting for the mail. "Ah, there you are, James," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I've heard from several of the station masters that you've done a good night's work," Sir Topham Hatt smiled. "I've also heard that there was a small incident at Wellsworth Station," he added. "But you put things right and have made sure that all the mail arrived on time. You have once again proved to me that you are a really useful engine, and a first-class one at that."
Oh, give me my antacids.
"Well done, James," puffed Percy excitedly. James felt so proud he thought his boiler would burst.
And it did. 3 days later. And that is probably the last of the Thomas and Friends Wonders of Sodor story missions. This has been Mr. Swinney. I'll see you next time and see what we can do with this one. In the meantime, be good and be good to each other.